All right, so SpaceX just launched, and a lot of you are probably wondering if now is a good time to buy. Should you wait a little bit longer to buy? What's a good price point to buy in at? So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about how you should look to approach buying a stock after its IPO. We're going to show a couple of examples of a few stocks that IPO'd in recent years and the kind of price action that you can expect after the IPO, and then when you should look to buy in. So this is what the SpaceX stock looks like shortly after its IPO. We can see that it had 3 days of up after the IPO, and then since then, since the top at around 225, we're down 46% at this point. So any buys that you've made so far on SpaceX are underwater unless you literally bought today. The price is up a little bit overnight, but any buy in SpaceX has been a bad buy so far. And if you're someone who's looking to hold for 5 to 10 years, then buying SpaceX now probably isn't a bad idea, but you always want to try to get the best price possible. And what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you 2 other charts that IPO'd recently and show you the kind of price action that you should look to expect after an IPO, and then when's a good time that you should be looking to buy in. All right, so Robinhood or Hood is a really good example of what you'd like to see from a chart after its IPO. So Hood launched in 2021. It had a short little run up after its IPO, and then it went through a very long downtrend. So after its IPO, it went into a downtrend for 303 days. And then you'll see what it did after the downtrend is it just went sideways. We had sideways accumulation here for a very long time. This accumulation lasted, about until we got the breakout from the bottom, 610 days. So basically what I'm trying to say here is that you don't need to be in a rush to buy SpaceX at all, okay? What you'd want to see from SpaceX is something similar to like what we saw in Hood, to where it goes in a long downtrend like this, you see it base out and go sideways, and then when it breaks structure on the monthly chart, that's when you look to buy, okay? So you're not buying right here. This could be where SpaceX is right now, SpaceX could literally be right here at like $31 where Hood was. And then if you buy right now, you're down, 78%. I'm not saying SpaceX is going to go down 78%. It probably doesn't from the price that it's at right now, but it can definitely go down further from where it's at. So ideally what you're looking for here is an accumulation range. And when you see a monthly candle break above the swing high, so this is the previous swing high right here on Hood, and when you see this monthly candle close through all of these highs, that's your signal that okay, this downtrend is likely coming to an end. We've broken structure, and you could have just bought the monthly breakout here on Hood. And if you would have bought the monthly breakout, you would have bought 16, and it literally went all the way up to 150 at its peak. So sure, you didn't buy the bottom on Hood, right? But you also didn't end up buying this entire downtrend. If you're dollar cost averaging, at 36, 27, 18, you're just in a drawdown for all of this time. And it's just uncomfortable being in a position that's in a drawdown. So even though you're not buying at the exact bottom, waiting for some sort of a monthly breakout like this is just gonna save you a lot of mental, and it's going to save you a lot of money as well, because you would have just got a better entry than if you were buying all the way in this downtrend here. So Coinbase is another good example here of a stock that ended up having quite a long drawdown and consolidation period after its IPO. So it IPO'd here, didn't find the bottom for 395 days, and then you got the monthly breakout on this candle right here. We closed above this previous swing high, got the monthly breakout. You could have bought 97 here or 98 on the monthly breakout, or you could have just bought back into this fair value gap right here. The pullback right into the fair value gap. This was like a beautiful, beautiful chart here where we got the monthly breakout, pull back into the fair value gap. You buy 74, or you DCA between 98, 74, and then you ride this thing up to 400. 3 drive at the top here, close back below the previous high. You look to sell at 342. So Coinbase is honestly one of the cleanest charts that you could have traded in the past couple years on the monthly level. All right, so back to SpaceX now. Don't be in a hurry at all to buy the stock. This thing could just continue bleeding lower and lower, okay? The bottom could be in right now, but what you want to see ideally here is you want to see some sort of sideways consolidation, okay? So what you'd like to see is for the stock to go sideways like this, put in a high right here, come back down, put in a low, another high, another low, and then when you see a monthly, or like if you want to be more aggressive, you can wait for a weekly, a close above these two highs right here, that's when you can look to buy into SpaceX. That's like when the chance of the downtrend being over is going to be most likely, okay? So some sideways, a break above the high, and then you look to buy, okay? So you could honestly, you could end up buying in, like your entry point could be 170, okay? But your entry point could also be down at like 90. It just depends on where this sideways consolidation happens, right? If we continue to drop lower, if the chart just goes like this, okay? The chart just goes like this and just drops lower and then consolidates down here, you know? You could end up, your entry could end up being at around like 86 or something, but at least you're not buying this entire downtrend, you know, at least you're not buying up at 200. Like anybody that bought the IPO is just down so much right now already, okay? So look for some sort of sideways consolidation and then get interested in SpaceX.